Okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Lesson Known Classics. This episode number 2018 and Doubleshot number 1912. Interesting though the fact that I get to episode 2018 the very same year I start working on my current job. Yep. Alright, we have two Batman related trades. First up we have Batman Spawn the Classic Collection. This trade collects the original one-shots Batman and Spawn released back in the 90s. The only reason why DC decided to release it is because I think it was announced just recently that they're doing a third of these one-shots. Yes. Now, they collect both the original one-shot and the second one. Now, the first one is written by Frank Miller. Yes. Now, the book itself, the one done by Frank Miller, is not canon to the DC universe at all. Well, it's canon to the Frank Miller stuff, and it's also canon to the Spawn stuff because, yeah, by the way, you have Todd McFarlane doing the artwork in that one. The first one shot we have in here, for some reason, with the cover is done by Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane, Dan McLean, Dan McCagg. For some reason, they don't start with the second one shot, which is, they start with the first one, start with the second one, which is Batman Spawn War Devil. This has 3 writers on this one-shot. 3. And these 3 are noteworthy Batman writers. Doug Moak, Chuck Dixon, and Alan Grant. Who have met these 3? Chuck Dixon. And of course you have Claus Johnson doing the artwork. He also does the cover artwork with Steve Pacino, who is the colorist. Most of this one, it's just, well, just Batman doing his own thing. Now, knowing for these one-shots we have a villain from let's say Batman's Rogues Gallery team with someone from Spawn's Rogues Gallery. This one, not really. It's actually really good. Love the artwork here. And by the way, in both one-shots, apparently Batman has no idea who Spawn is, despite he just met him. Of course, he investigates like a series of murders. Spawn basically gets involved with this stuff here. And then we have this here. Look at this. An encounter between Spawn and Batman. Have they two met each other before? Despite the fact this one should sequel to the first one. Apparently the writers completely forgot the fact these two met before. Maybe this was a way to forget about the first one, which was not that good. Now I do love the artwork, but I love the speech bubbles for Spawn. Which I'm sure that's probably... Now here, the thing is this one... Batman's want to do fire first, and they basically reluctantly team each other. Now, oddly enough, you might be thinking, is there any Batman villains who appear in this one-shot? The answer is no. None do. They just team up because they play the demon stuff, but it's definitely a good one-shot. Yep. But then comes this. This one-shot right here, the original one-shot. Or it seems like here that one will happen up. This one actually ties it. This actually is followed up in the issue of Spawn. Yes. Of course, this is written by Frank Miller and artwork by Todd McFarlane. Now the artwork is by far the best thing about the one shot. Plus, I love the Batman logo, which that's actually the logo he had in the 90s, which I do appreciate. McFarlane put that in. He, of course, is wounded and fights Cyborg, rips his head off. We see version Alfred in here. Now, you can definitely tell by the artwork, this is definitely Todd McFarlane, just by looking at it. Yeah, look at this. This is clearly Todd McFarlane's artwork. And they fight. And they don't really want to team each other. They basically spend the whole issue fighting each other. Now, there's a line in one of the issues, when I heard about this one, I heard about the review, because it's been a while since I read this one, was that Batman said, "Don't touch my cape." And I initially didn't find it on my first review. Let's see if I can find it here. Of course, they fight again. Fight. I'll break you in half. And of course, they fly away when the one-shot's almost over. They know what threat this is. And they deal with it. Of course, they fly about. Here it is. Nobody, you're wrong about it. And don't touch my cape. Don't ever. Nobody touches my cape. And then he does this. You end the one shot. Wow. Yeah, Batman throwing his batarang in Spawn's face, which is still there for quite a while. Until like around issue 50 when Spawn gets his face fixed and then basically it's reverted back to his ugly face and then it's never mentioned again. Which I do appreciate McFarlane keeping it. That was probably McFarlane's idea to do that because after all he was writing Spawn at this point and this one shot, the second one shot is definitely canon to Spawn. Now this for Batman perspective, in the case of the first one, the Spawn Batman one shot. This one, meanwhile, from Batman's perspective, for the main Bat books, it's not canon. It's only canon to Frank Miller universe. Excuse me, yes. But this book is still, it's actually pretty good. The first one says really good. Second one's only good for the artwork. The writing, it's Frank Miller. What do you expect? Now, I do enjoy books like Year One. I do enjoy some Simpson City, 300. But this, no. It's not that good. The first one shot I give a 9. Second one for story, I give that a 5. But the artwork I give a 10. But the trade itself, 8.5. Alright, next up it is The Silencer, Volume 2. Hell-IDay Road. This collects issues 7 through 12 of the Silencer book, along with the annual. I have one more trade left to go for this series, and that's it. Now, this book has a weird opening to it where you have Silencer stabbing Talia, even though that's not the last issue ended with. And it turns out it was all a dream, and the whole thing with Leviathan, and like Talia taking back in charge of the Leviathan throughout the storyline. Despite the fact in the main Superman book it's under control of Mark Shaw. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, and she also basically disregards something she said at the start of the series where she allowed Silence to leave, and then she's like, I should never let you leave. It's like a reestablishment, basically like ignoring what happened the first issue, despite the fact it's done with the same guy, Dan Abnett, but different artist. Yes, we have in 6 issues plus an end, we have 5 artists in these issues. 5. We have Jack Herbert, Patrick Zurcher, Victor Badavic, Tom Durank, and Jonathan Gallopin. The cover art here is done by Tyler Kirkham and Alberto. Love the artwork. Love the artwork in this book. But, like, okay, DC, why the heck did you keep changing the artists on the Silencer series? Yeah, here's the thing. The book started with Charmian Jr. in the artwork, and then he left. Because that was probably one of the reasons why the books under the New Age Hero line didn't do too well financially, because the artist left after 3 issues. With the exception of Hawkman, that's the only one that maintained it. Now, surprisingly, aside from Hawkman, the only other book basically lasted more than a year was, well, the Terrifics and this book. Heck, they had 3 books that lasted for like 5 or 6 issues before they got canceled. Stuff like The Immortal Man. Excuse me, like, let's see, also New Challengers, Curse the Brimstone. Those last maybe 6, 8 issues before getting axed. This lasted for 18 freaking issues. 18. Now, aside from the stuff with Talia, like, is there any, like, noteworthy characters in here? Like, they associated with DC Comics, aside from Talia and the Silencer? Well, they at one point, her family goes to Action Land, which is basically a take on classic Superman stuff, which it appears that Dan Abnett really wanted to write some Superman, because we actually have a scene in the book where you have this actor who plays Superman, And he basically plays up what happens in Crisis of Earth number 8, where you have Superman holding the body of the dead Supergirl, the Earth 1 Supergirl. And he's wearing like the Superman red costume. Yeah, for some reason they decided to do that. I have no idea why. But they did. It's by far one of the strangest ideas they've ever done for this book. Now, oddly enough, when it comes to Actionland, by the way, here's your Superman for you. Yeah, it's Superman done in the style of the classic Golden Age. And we also have like Bizarre World, Up and Away. There's a version of Crypt of the Superdog. Yeah, let's go Actionland Resort in Cesaro Gulf States. And plus, they gotta love the fact that they're standing in front of basically a logo for Action Comics, which, if I'm trying to think, I think this may have been at the time when this book came. I think that was the logo for Action Comics. Yeah, so he fights this robot, Quintus, while her family is dealing with the Actionland stuff. But yeah, in the case of the second trade, it feels like a bit of a step down from the first trade, but I love all the extra stuff in here, like Actionland. The stuff Italia felt like, though, like but in this book, you seem like this book is over with by the time we get to issue 12, but nope, there's 6 issues left. No, seriously, there's like 6 issues left to go for the whole series. Yeah, and the annual, believe it or not, has her encounter Batman. Yes, we actually have her encounter freaking Batman in the annual. Which, by the way, issue 12 ended with her falling out of a window. 12 is basically just, the annual is probably set at some point before that. It's interesting that we have her go to Gotham City for one issue. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Batman is the father of Talia's child. By the way, I give this book a 9 out of 10. He's the father of Talia's child. Why the heck would you want to kill Batman for? Because Talia ordered it to? Yeah. We got one more trailer for the series, and that's pretty much it. But in the terms of New Age Hero line, well, if you think about it, Trifix has got at least about 3 more trades of it, and it's done. But a lot of the other trades didn't last very long. I'd say, unless I finish reading this series, the only series of the review were just New Challengers, Curse of the Brimstone, Sideways, and of course Triffic. So I feel like I got 5 more left. The only one I have reviewed fully just been 2. Excuse me, that's been Hawkman and Damage. And that's it. I am looking forward to reviewing the third and final trade for the review that collect the issues in the series. I'll review in the future at some point. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be Welcome to Square Con. Okay, next video. Bye.